Your thoughts about Hulk Hogan possibly being upset with TNA? I mean, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but we got a report coming in from ProWrestling.net that Hulk Hogan, he's reportedly been upset with TNA Wrestling. Primary reason because of the way they released his daughter Brooke Hogan, as he felt that they should have let him know first, so that he basically, I don't know, could have maybe given Brooke the bad news, or maybe tried to see if some other type of arrangements could be made, maybe put her in some type of a other different position. But then there's another side to the story that is noting that there has been a lack of communication between Hogan and TNA Wrestling, pretty much for the first time since Hogan, Bischoff, and had came in a couple of years back. And the article would point out that for the first time in several weeks that we have Hogan, Bischoff, and Carter in the same venue. So what's your take when you hear this? And bear in mind, folks, Hulk Hogan's contract with TNA Wrestling is going to be up in October. So if I'm not mistaken, I'm kind of getting the rumblings, it's going to be expired supposedly first week of October.
I think that will be the best thing for both himself and the company if they parted ways. A mutual agreement. I think they should pay him out now and pay him what they owe him now and release him. Hulk Hogan's arguably the greatest of all time, no doubt about it. Fine, but that doesn't mean he's such a great businessman. TNA Wrestling did not owe him anything when they felt they should release Brooke. They did not have to come to him. It was a business decision on their end through management, which he is not a part of. So he needs to get over himself on that part. And, as far as him personally, I want to see him go back to the WWE, at least on a per appearance like Bret Hart does, like Edge does. Something like that. Go off in style. Go away from the wrestling business for a while. Focus on your restaurant, Hulk. You've burnt out yourself. It's time to go, man. I'm sorry.
No, I agree with you 100%. I mean, the Hulk Hogan experiment, it really wasn't that much of a success. I mean, honestly, the only way TNA really could have capitalized off Hulk Hogan is if they would have had the Hulk Hogan that went in to work that WrestleMania match with The Rock. If they would have had that Hulk Hogan who was still able to deliver matches, come into TNA Wrestling, yes, he could have taken TNA Wrestling to those heights, maybe close to WWE, but when you just have him in that whole on-screen character role, you can only do so much, especially if you're not really having him be hands-on with the talent. If you just have him in a limited capacity type of role, then you can't really expect that much out of him. I mean, it's obvious they reached out to him because they wanted that mega star power. They wanted that popularity. They wanted to capitalize on it. But I look at it as a perfect marriage. It's like he wasn't really doing that much promoting on the interviews that he did. When you look back in retrospect, he really wasn't hooking them up like that. Honestly, I agree with you. I think he needs to go. I mean, honestly, I like the idea of WWE, Hulk Hogan. Yeah, that has, I mean, let's be for real. When you think WWE, you think WWF, you think Hulk Hogan, you think Bruno Sammartino, you think Bob Backlund, you think Sergeant Slaughter, you think about all those old school guys, and Hulk Hogan is part of that class. I mean, how badass would it to see Hulk Hogan, Bruno Sammartino, Bob Backlund, Sergeant Slaughter, have them all in like a WWE Hall of Fame roundtable discussion that they can release like on DVD, sharing insights into their greatest rivalry matches or some stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot they can do with that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how can you do a Best of Madison Square Garden DVD, right? And you don't even have Hulk Hogan part of that. They're probably going to be using some type of recycled stuff that they did of Hogan from years prior, but you know when you think of greatest WWE matches at Madison Square Garden, you look at the history. You got to have Hulk Hogan be a part of that. So I agree with you 100%, man. He needs to go on ahead, leave them, go on back to WWE, take a Legends deal, make those appearances like you mentioned. I mean, hell, they can do a Hulk Hogan appreciation night. There is so much that they can do with Hulk Hogan that, it's ridiculous. Hell, they could even make him be the new Raw or SmackDown GM.
Yeah, I mean, how awesome would that be if Daniel Bryan got the assistance of Hulk Hogan to fight the Machine, Something like that.
Yeah.
Why not?
You just gave me a very interesting idea. We've been sitting up getting the impression that maybe Shane McMahon is going to be coming back to the WWE and all that. We should point out how that poll that they did at Night of Champions, they sucked up to Hulk Hogan there big time. Maybe it's actually Hulk Hogan that's getting ready to return.
We guess we'll have to wait and see.
Very interesting development right there. I'm glad you said that. It was like, boom, it's a lightning bolt. I just went, wait a minute, interesting. So, yeah, we're going to have to touch and go and see what's going on with that.